Let me also tell you about Nehru's daughter. Nehru's daughter imposed emergency, curbed all freedoms, suspended our fundamental rights, ensured that the media and the judiciary was under her thumb, and she was perhaps the biggest blot on democracy by the emergency that she imposed. And then we had Rajiv Gandhi, who passed two anti-media laws, one of which the president had to pocket veto so that the media rights are not curbed in this country. And then coming back to the UPA, because we are talking the current talk.
Oh my God, the point was that, oh God, so triggering. This is so triggering. The point was that parliament पहले ज़्यादा काम करता था. Now it is working less. Please tell why. Literally, that was the question. It's a known fact that the parliament is working less than before. And traditionally, it has worked much longer. Oh, the question was really good, but of course, what can you expect from this nonsense character?
Look, the problem with issue of I condemn anybody who supports anybody else taking rule of law into their own hands or breaking the law.
So in good answers.
People, I condemn them. Look, I condemn anybody who goes and lionizes or eulogizes anybody breaking the law.
But क्यों खत्म कर?
Yes. Jain Sinha.
Yeah.
Do you know that Sajjan Kumar was convicted for the 1984 Sikh genocide?
I'm not defending the Congress here. I'm asking you as a unbiased citizen.
Sure, it's indefensible. Therefore, you're not defending it. But it was the Congress that supported Mr. Sajjan Kumar.
Oh my God, no, that's not the point. Why did you do but? There is no but there. Just end it there. Dude, Shehzad, what are you doing? It was a good answer. Just let it go there. Hello and welcome to another episode of Meghnerd Reacts. Today we are reacting to this thing. Take that episode 1. Students versus BJP's Shehzad Poonawalla. More of everything. More of everything. तो इन्होंने more कर दिया. The interesting thing is they have collaborated with India Today. And so it's maybe an India Today property in secret. I don't know. So which means we have to be careful about copyright strikes also. So just saying this stream and recording might be taken off at any time. I don't know. Copyright strike hota hai, nahi hota hai. But this is commentary. This is commentary. Also, members will get the full video. Baki ki janta will get like a cut version of it. So yeah, there will be filters. If you want to watch the full reaction video, you will have to come to my membership channel paywall thingy. Basically join button, just press on it, become a member, and there is a link below in the description to watch the full reaction. Okay, the reason why I'm watching this is because of the comments. Next in list is J Sai Deepak. Only problem is nobody would turn up for that. Gen Z needed this shock treatment by Shehzad. So we're going to see Shehzad Poonawalla of BJP giving the Gen Z a shock treatment. Are you ready, Gen Z, for shock treatment? All kids are privileged. Should have brought some bright students, not these rich kids who will eventually leave. If chewing and spitting out had a 2-hour face, it is this. Well done, Shehzad. So I am expecting like a lot of student bashing to happen here. Basically, they stole this format from this thing called Jubilee, which has become very popular in America. They do this surrounded series where they bring like one person and then people with other ideologies or differing views would surround them and then they would have like a very gimmicky debate. So we will see what the format is. I don't know yet. Let's see. Okay, without further ado, let us watch. Okay.
The idea is simple. Real conversations, sharp questions, and no teleprompters. Just young Indians speaking their mind to the people who matter. Today, we are joined by BJP national spokesperson Shehzad Poonawalla. He's someone who wears many hats: lawyer, activist, party insider, and unapologetic defender of the BJP, of course. The themes we'll explore today cut across ideology, economics, democracy, and identity.
In case you don't know, Shehzad Poonawalla used to be in the Congress. There were these famous Poonawalla brothers, Shehzad and Tehseen. Tehseen is not a part of the Congress, but also is batting for the Congress. Shehzad Poonawalla was in the Congress. Then he wanted to become president and defeat Rahul Gandhi. And then he got sidelined. And then Modi ji was like, Aa jao, mere paas aa jao. And he went and now he's their spokesperson. And of course, he's a person who matters. So
that makes politics personal. Expect questions about freedom of speech, textbook revisions, inequality, and yes, even PM Modi's succession. What follows
Okay.
is not a panel, it's a relay. Each student will walk up, make their point in under 2 minutes, and Shehzad will respond to the remarks also under 2 minutes. The first round will be followed by a short chai break, after which the participants will return with their rebuttals or
Wait, what? So 2 minutes a person comes and asks a question and then Shehzad responds for 2 minutes. Okay.
a follow-up question. No shouting, no interruptions, just clean, honest debate. Let's begin.
Decent. I like the
I just wanted
attempt.
I'm going to ask short questions. We can make this
You
conversation.
can begin with your name.
Oh, yes. So my name is Darshpuri. I'm a
Are you nervous?
little bit, yes.
Don't be.
So I'm a second year student at Georgetown University. And yes, I'm very excited to ask you some questions.
Wait, Georgetown University से आए ये? Yeah, now I know why the comments are like this. Okay.
So yeah, let's start right off the bat, right? What did Professor Ali from Ashoka University say wrong when he made his remarks during Operation Sindoor?
Well, I think that's not for me to decide. That's for a court of law to decide. And the court asked for a probe to be done into that. And whatever the court finally decides, that's up to them. But having said that, this is an ecosystem. The ecosystem that protected or patronized or wanted to bat for this person is the same organizations and the same ecosystem that has said Sadak Ka Gunda for our Sena Pramukh.
Congress leader Sandeep Dikshit calls Army Chief General Rawat a Sadak Ka Gunda. That's from 2017. When he was in the Congress. Yes, he was. I remember. I think he switched over in like 2019 or around that time. So his own party person was doing it. And now he's using it again. Okay, anyway.
This is the same organization that has doubted surgical strike. This is the same set of people who've doubted Balakot air strike. They're the same set of people, despite the overwhelming evidence on camera, have doubted and said that Operation Sindoor was a failure. So I think that you can obviously have opposition to the BJP, but it should not transmutate into opposition for the armed forces. And let me give you a more concrete example. While we're shooting this right now, just yesterday, day before this recording, we celebrated or commemorated Kargil Vijay Divas. That's the triumph of the Indian Armed Forces in the Kargil operation. And do you know that when the UPA government came to power in 2004, between 2004 to 2009, they did not commemorate Kargil Vijay Divas on 26th of July.
Okay. Political leadership of UPA 1 participated in the Kargil War Day celebrations for the first time in 2009. Manmohan Singh pays tribute to Kargil martyrs. Oh, okay, so they did then.
Saying that it was a BJP war. Now, you remember that when Vajpayee was the leader of opposition during 1971, we stood up and praised not just the armed forces, but also Indira Gandhi. Vajpayee was sent
What is the
in the
point?
delegation abroad in 1990s by Narasimha Rao to argue India's case. Never did we ever question Narasimha Rao's government at an international platform. But today, when Prime Minister sends a multi-party delegation to argue the kind of things that we have done, new template we've set through Operation Sindoor, what do we find? Jairam Ramesh of the Congress party says that these people, these MPs, including his own MP, are like a bunch of terrorists. They don't even listen to Dr. Tharoor. And I'm sure Dr. Tharoor, when he keeps India first, he says the armed forces delivered a resounding...
ये क्या है format? Sorry, this is he's just going wild. Like he was asked, what did Professor Mahmoodabad do wrong? And he said, I have nothing to say, the courts will decide. And then just launches into describing some ecosystem that is behind defending Mahmoodabad and goes crazy from Kargil war to everything. Point kya hai, bhai? Like, just explain why you think Mahmoodabad was wrong. Why are you getting away with this whole, pata nahi, court kya bolega? It's so random.
blow to Pakistan, that no ceasefire was done, no surrender was done. The Congress says that he will not speak for us because he doesn't put family first.
So doesn't this showcase a prevailing attitude? Like it's always said, dubito ergo cogito ergo sum. You would say, I doubt, therefore I think, therefore I am. And I feel that in the current scenario, perhaps civil society is suffering from this problem because doubt or criticizing something or questioning something is often considered like malintentioned. And perhaps that is an attitude which needs to be
there's
changed.
no problem in asking questions. There's no problem in having doubts. In
Sorry, that could have been simpler. I mean, there is a way to ask questions. What he meant to ask, I think, was that why are you questioning the messenger? Like, why do you always attack the messenger and not the and don't deal with the message? I think. Like every time you criticize the people in power, you are already like bucketed into being like anti-national or terrorist. I think that is the line he was taking. But the question was weirdly phrased.
Democracy is strengthened by the questions that one asks. But there are certain areas where national interest prevails over party interest, where we stop Rajniti and we put Rashtra Niti above Rajniti. For instance, do you know that the Congress party in the 1990s, when Narasimha Rao government was there, did not conduct the nuclear test under international pressure? And it was only when Vajpayee came that we went ahead with those nuclear tests. Now, should we, for the sake of opposition to one party, compromise on national interest? Let's take a more concrete and relevant example. For instance, the Operation Sindoor achieved the objectives that we had set out.
Okay, this bullshit. Okay, sorry. Oh my God, this thing I have spoken about it so many times. So he's saying I keep nationalism over. I keep what Rashtravad over Rajkaran. I mean, he says nationalism above politics. Sorry, but these are the people who are in power who are defining what nationalism is. See, that's the problem, right? You know, when you are talking about something like nationalism, it is like this concept which is just up in the air, and the people in power get to define what it is and what fits and what doesn't. So anything that is opposing the BJP, they will be like, "Arey, tu anti-national," because it's such a bizarre concept, right? Like it doesn't mean anything really. Same like urban Naxal. What does that even mean? If you ask the Home Ministry what is an urban Naxal, they will be like, "Humko kya pata?" But the Home Minister has used it again in Bihar. Prime Minister has used it everywhere because it's such a nebulous term. No, anybody who opposes them can be like urban Naxal. They can be liberandus. They can be whatever terrorist sympathizers, and they can be like anti-national. Same shit. Now he will use like past examples of what the Congress didn't do, to say that everybody asking us questions is actually a part of the same ecosystem and therefore anti-national. Because जब कांग्रेस ने 1980 में ये किया था, तब तुम किधर थे? Where were you?
For instance, we destroyed the 9 terror camps. We hit Pakistan on their military bases, including 11 bases, including the Sargodha base. We've seen that the Rahim Yar Khan base has not been operationalized even after 60 days.
Seculars, yes, that is another word.
Chinese military equipment proved to be a complete dud. And this has been said by the Indian armed forces in press conference after press conference. Now, should you stand with your armed forces or should you undermine them? When you say that nothing was achieved, when you say surgical strike didn't happen.
I thought that the whole thing was he gets 2 minutes and he gets 2 minutes. But what I saw was this guy barely spoke for like 20 seconds, asked 2 questions, and then the rest of the time was just given to Shehzad to do bakwas. Okay. I was expecting better. I mean, I thought this format was okay. I mean, like, ठीक है, कुछ तो maybe निकलेगा इसमें से, but clearly I was wrong. It's just reformatted propaganda slop, I guess.
Alakot airstrike was basically chil ko hue mare the. This is not attacking the government. It is attacking the armed forces. And I think that certain things like armed forces should be beyond question. In a democracy, yes, we have the right to question the government, but don't attack the armed forces because you don't like the government in power.
Arey, but like when you question the government, that is what you see as an attack on the army all the time. That's the whole thing. Like whenever you question the government, like, so Siachen में soldiers लड़ रहे हैं और तू हमसे पूछ रहा है, whatever the Kunal Kamra bit. Yeah, it's bizarre.
I think I'd start by saying it's great to meet you.
This pleasure is all mine. It's all mutual. You want to be a little louder?
Yeah. So I'd like to start with a bit of a historical background. In the first Lok Sabha, that was when Jawaharlal Nehru was Prime Minister, the Congress had a brute majority of 364 seats. But even at that time, Prime Minister Nehru made it a point to make Parliament the temple of democracy. And the first budget actually had 79 hours of discussion over it. Under the 17th Lok Sabha, under Prime Minister Modi, the Parliament assembled for an average of 55 days.
Oh, good. Okay,
Within
this is a good question.
Recently, in 2023, we saw the BNS, the BNSS, and the BSA that were passed. And they were passed at a time when 146 members of Parliament from the opposition were removed by the presiding officers of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, who are members of the BJP. The Manipur issue, which has seen the displacement of more than 40,000 people, and people are living in refugee camps. But despite the Prime Minister not visiting Manipur, the discussion on Manipur was held for 41 minutes in Parliament after a more than 10-hour discussion on the Waqf bill. And on the Manipur discussion, 9 minutes of that 41 minutes were taken by the Home Minister.
Yeah. Nice.
How is Parliament still the temple of democracy in the 21st century?
I like this guy. I like this
Since
guy.
you started by quoting Prime Minister Nehru, whom we have great regard for, you'd also be happy to know that Prime Minister Nehru didn't have any formal leader of opposition position while he was Prime Minister. In fact, till 1969, we had no leader of opposition in this country. And the first time that we had a recognized leader of opposition was when the statutory bill was passed by the 1977 Janata Party government. So for all of democratic credentials of Prime Minister Nehru, he also put Majru Sultanpuri, a great lyrics writer, some of you might be aware of him, in jail for calling him Hitler. Today, every day, Prime Minister Modi is called Hitler. Nobody's going to jail for that. In fact, they've abused him 150 times, including his stars, his family, called him Meech, Kutte ki maut marega, but none of them have gone to jail. Having said that, let me also tell you about Nehru's daughter. Nehru's daughter imposed emergency, curbed all freedoms, suspended our fundamental rights, ensured that the media and the judiciary was under her thumb, and she was perhaps the biggest blot on democracy by the emergency that she imposed. And then we had Rajiv Gandhi, who passed two anti-media laws, one of which the President opposition had to pocket veto so that the media rights are not curbed in this country. And then coming back to the UPA, because we are talking the current talk.
Oh my God, the point was that, oh God, so triggering. This is so triggering. The point was that parliament pehle zyada kaam karta tha. Now it is working less. Please tell why. Literally, that was the question. It's a known fact that the parliament is working less than before. And traditionally, like, it has worked much longer. The question was really good, but of course, like, what can you expect from this nonsense character?
Our context, UPA bought in 66A. Basically, journalists, including one former journalist from this group, was not allowed to tweet what he wanted to tweet because 66A prohibited all kinds of tweets that the government did not like. Having said that, look, more charcha should happen in parliament. I am for that. But what happens is that when the price rise discussion was asked by the Congress government, Congress party in opposition, we said, let's come and discuss price rise. They went on to an issue of Rafale. The Rafale matter went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled there's nothing wrong in Rafale. The Congress continued to hijack parliament on Rafale. Then they asked for a discussion on COVID. We said, let's come and discuss on COVID. They went and brought in Pegasus issue. Again, the Supreme Court gave a verdict on Pegasus. Did they stop their protests? No. Then when they said that they wanted a discussion on other issues like the situation in the country, they went on to
situation in Manipur. That's what the question was. What he didn't even mention Manipur.
Hindenburg, a foreign-based report. Today, the Hindenburg organization has been shut. The Supreme Court has given a verdict on Hindenburg. The same Congress party allows Adani's projects in other places, but hijacked parliament. And when it comes to Manipur, Manipur Prime Minister Modi replied. Home Minister obviously replied. But when it was the turn of the Prime Minister to speak in Manipur issue, the no confidence motion was brought in Delhi in the parliament. The opposition walked out. By the way...
No. The no confidence motion was not brought specifically for Manipur. There were other issues. And I think the Prime Minister mentioned Manipur for exactly 2 minutes there in like a 1.5 hour speech of that no confidence motion.
In the Manipur assembly, where the government of BJP was there, no confidence motion was brought against that government. By the way, when the emergency was extended in Manipur just recently, after the Waqf bill debate, it was a discussion that was held late at night. We were committed, so we continued the discussion. Entire Congress party, including Rahul Gandhi, did not sit for that discussion. So they are not interested in Manipur. They are interested in...
Oh my God, kya gaslight kiya na mast. Oh my God. Oh. So the one thing that he was supposed to say, oh yes, more discussion should happen in the parliament. I welcome it. Khatam. Like, I mean, that is one thing that he said, but then he should elaborate, no? Why are there no more parliament discussions happening? Let me explain something to you. The reason why there are no discussions happening in parliament is because there are certain public issues that make the government uncomfortable. There are certain public issues that the opposition wants to raise. Like, for example, take the Rafale deal, take the Pegasus deal. Those are issues of public importance which you feel, which the opposition feels are worth debating. But what happens in parliament is that the speaker rejects those notices on most days. They don't want to discuss things that will make them uncomfortable. So the speaker controls the houses, both of them, according to what the government wants. So the opposition is then forced to come on the floor of the house and disrupt the house because they want to talk about something and the government is forcing them to do something else. So they get suspended. All that bullshit happened. He mentioned suspension, but of course Shehzad didn't mention it at all. Another thing, they used to do this. BJP used to do this before 2014. Exactly what he described. Congress used to have speakers who would disallow their notices and then like not let the discussion happen. BJP would just come and disrupt for 3 entire sessions. 3 entire sessions. मतलब 1 साल के लिए parliament नहीं चलने दिया इन लोगों ने. BJP ने. Because they were the opposition. And UPA was being uncomfortable about it. Same thing, but bullshit करना है, bullshit answer देना है.
Politics on Manipur.
Hi, my name is Ira and I'm from New Delhi. And my question towards you is that I'm 18. This is going to be my first year voting. And one thing that a lot of young citizens were trying to figure out is how political parties respond to serious allegations, especially against candidates that have serious allegations against crime against women.
Okay.
So often
Decent
there's
cases,
a visible call for accountability
decent.
when the allegations are from the candidates are from rivaling parties. But there's less of a visible call when the accusations come up from someone who's within your own ranks. So from my my question is that, do you think the public suffers when justice is selective? And shouldn't all political parties, including yours, follow the same level of transparency and action when dealing with such allegations, with dealing with
I
such
like
convictions?
this. Like
And
this
I
question.
think,
Questions are decent.
I'd like to talk about the 2017 Unnao rape case. The BJP MLA Kuldeep Sengar, he was
Good,
convicted
good.
of rape, a 17-year-old
Good,
girl.
mentioned it
and
properly.
The BJP suspected him for a really long time, but they did not take any action. And they took more than a year to expel him. Versus when the defamation case against Rahul Gandhi had happened in 2023, they ordered him to resign from the parliament within 24 hours. And the other thing is the Brij Bhushan, the assault case. There were multiple female wrestlers that had accused him of sexual harassment, but he served during the party. He was a prominent figure during the investigation, and there
This
was no
is good
action
question.
taken. So my question is,
All right. So first of all, I completely agree with you that probity in public life, integrity, and moral fiber, moral character should be a very important part for all political parties. It shouldn't be.
Okay, now this is where I am going to predict his answer. So this is where his answer literally ends. Now he is going to say, कांग्रेस को देखो, बाकी parties को देखो, हमको क्यों बोलते हो? बाकी parties को देखो. Now he will rattle off some names about some criminals, etc., which are in the Congress and opposition parties. Let's see.
Your criminal versus my criminal. And therefore, for me, a more reasonable benchmark towards that is because, see, look, in politics, people make allegations at each other. Now, can we ask people to resign at the drop of an allegation? Perhaps no, because that would become an unending spiral. Rahul Gandhi faced a rape allegation as well. Should we have asked Rahul Gandhi to resign? No, I don't think so. The benchmark should be, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that when charges are framed by a court of law. So this means that an investigating agency commits a charge sheet against a person against whom an allegation has been made. So FIR is filed, a charge sheet is filed post-investigation. The court takes cognizance and files and gets the charges framed. I think that should be the minimum benchmark. Now, when you came to the Rahul Gandhi vis-a-vis the other issue of Unnao MLA Sengar, Sengar was charged by our police. The court heard the matter. While the matter was there, we suspended him. And after he got convicted, because you see, the court has to ultimately decide whether a person is guilty or not guilty. When he was convicted, we immediately threw him out of the party. We did not defend him. Having said that, now look at the same benchmark. Lalu Prasad Yadav is convicted 5 or 6.
Yes, I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
6 times for corruption. The first time he was convicted in 2013. He is the national president of Congress's ally party, the RJD. And they talk about probity in public life. Look, we throw out people the moment their charges are framed. We've done that in the past. In fact, one of our presidents was also involved in a corruption case, even before...
What about the Brij Bhushan thing? Like, he didn't answer about that. Like, literally, wrestlers were accusing him of assault, doing protests, and just, what ठीक है? वो होने दो.
His conviction, we had thrown him out or he had to step aside. But here on conviction, they continue to defend. Now, when it comes to Rahul Gandhi, why the action was taken on Rahul Gandhi was convicted in that case. And his conviction hasn't been overturned or stayed till now. He's just got temporary relief from the Supreme Court. He was convicted for calling the entire Modi Samaj chore. So he's been convicted, opposed to, say, another case that he cited. Now, in that...
That's the funniest defamation case ever. I have done videos on this. So apparently Rahul Gandhi in some time during 2021 or 22 later sometime called said सब चोरों का नाम मोदी क्यों होता है or something on that matter, and some guy in Gujarat, BJP worker with the last name Modi, felt offended and filed a defamation case saying that Rahul Gandhi insulted the entire Modi community. Now, nothing happened to that case for 3 years. Then suddenly, 3 years later, right before, I think, 2024 elections, when he was there in parliament, etc., Bharat Jodo Yatra ke time ke आसपास, this case comes in to Gujarat High Court again, immediately gets passed, he gets convicted, and then he gets suspended from parliament immediately. It was the most bullshit thing I've seen in the universe, but it happened.
That particular case that you cited in the end, that case, the court has recently closed the case. And still, BJP on its part...
he missed the point completely. She was asking कि heinous crimes versus Rahul Gandhi ka defamation case is not equivalent. No, but you took action immediately on this. But for this, you don't do jack shit. You keep them there. You are like, oh, court bolega tab nikalenge. Ya nikalenge bhi nahi.
Sure that person did not get a ticket in the last Lok Sabha election. So therefore, the BJP sets a very high standard. The Congress and its allies, they criticize a lot, but they don't follow their own standards.
Oh my God, see, I told you this was going to happen. Why do I expect anything else?
Mr. Poonawalla, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine.
I'm Rehan Kidwai. I'm born and brought up in Delhi, and I'm studying in the National Law University in Jodhpur. So
I think that students are doing a decent job of asking questions, just that the Shehzad Poonawalla model is to deflect and distract and gaslight. So unfortunate. Meghnerd, buddy, the pattern has been set for this BJP propaganda in partnership with India Today. It isn't worth continuing with this to amplify their bullshit talking points when we know it is entirely bullshit. Please stop. No, Osiris, I will not stop. I want to watch as much as I can. Because I think it's worth watching. Why not? Why not? This is a new format of debating that I'm hoping at least the students are asking better questions. I want to see like how Shehzad responds because they have mostly got no answers. Hopefully we'll get an answer or two. Let's see. Maybe. देखते हैं थोड़ी देर और. It's a 1.5 hour video. 1.5 hour. I'm not know the whole thing. Let's see for a bit what happens.
We'll talk.
Yes, sure.
Hello, Mr. Poonawalla. I'm Priyanshu Sen. I'm studying political science at the University of British Columbia. And my question to you is, see, the BJP is known. It's been accused also often for centralizing a lot of things, be it the language, be it the electoral system. But where I find a problem, as somebody who is aware of, little bit aware, obviously nothing compared to you guys, but who's aware of how politics and the political structure functions and is also practicing Hindu. My question here is, do you not think that the BJP is redefining and I think reshaping what their idea of Hinduism would look like, which is very suitable or it helps them in the northern region predominantly selling the RSS's idea of what Hinduism looks like, very North India centric, very, for instance,
Wait. What was the fact check?
The RSS is
Hinduism is a way of life. Don't belittle it. Supreme Court. इसको fact check किया इसने अभी. He is asking, is BJP redefining Hinduism? He's asking, is BJP following a more Hindutva way of like RSS philosophy of Hinduism or whatever, especially in the northern regions? And India Today decided to fact check this or put this in for some reason, which says Hinduism is a way of life. Don't belittle it. Supreme Court. Not even hiding it. Okay, India Today. Okay. Nicely done. Well done.
this idea of what Hinduism looks like, very North India centric, very, for instance, vegetarian centric. It's not, Hinduism is a very ancient, Hindu society is a very ancient civilization. It's very diverse. In the East it changes, in the South it changes. And I'm coming to this point, and I will give you an example for this before I'll let you take over. But it's the Yogi government in Uttar Pradesh, I think in 2017 or 18, I'm not right about the year, but started banning non-vegetarian food across Uttar Pradesh during Navratra. Many areas with BJP jurisdiction also does that.
Yeah.
They ban non-vegetarian food. Now, I personally come from a community where non-vegetarian food during our festivities is a part of our culture. Do you think it really
Is he a
oscillates
Bengali? I missed it.
between where you're like, yes, we are Hindu supporters, but at the same time, you're marginalizing everyone who doesn't follow that particular idea of Hinduism that the BJP is propagating?
First of all, Hinduism, Hindutva, Hindu has been defined by the Supreme Court not as a religion but as a way of life. Yes. And we are not centralizing or imposing our view of Hindutva or Hinduism. We are only going with the view that Mahatma Gandhi prescribed. For instance, Mahatma Gandhi spoke about Ram Rajya.
Yes.
Mahatma Gandhi died while saying, "Hey Ram." His final words were, "Hey Ram." In the resting place of Mahatma Gandhi on his Samadhi is written, "Hey Ram." But today, who called Ram as Kalpanik? It is common.
2025 Congress leader Rahul Gandhi sparked a row after he termed Lord Ram a mythological figure during an interaction at the US University. Yes? Sorry, what? Why is that that? Okay.
Communist Party. So the Communist Party has traversed from Mahatma Gandhi to Rahul Gandhi, from Ram to Rome. It's not us. We are just pushing forward the idea that Mahatma Gandhi, for instance, they say that we are pushing the idea of Sanatan and Hindus everywhere. You know what is the motto of the Supreme Court? Yato dharmastato jaya.
Yeah.
Where there is dharma, there is victory. Dharma is not religion. Dharma is righteousness. Dharma is duty. In our Lok Sabha, what is written is Dharma Chakra Pravartana. That means the wheel of justice, the wheel of righteousness should continue to move. And this is a Buddhist philosophy. It's not a Hindu philosophy in that sense. So, what I'm trying to say is that while we have got all pride and pleasure in the civilizational heritage of this country, some people, they say that Sanatan should be ended. They abuse Hindu religion. They say Ramji does not exist. They say Ram Mandir, Pran Pratishtha was a Nach Kana. But they don't say it for other faiths. They said Sanatan is malaria and AIDS. Now I challenge the DMK spokesperson.
Yeah, of course, when it comes to religion, you have to also attack the Muslims. So now that is going to happen. So of course, like he will give like a very nice sounding Supreme Court ने बोला है sort of definition, and then he will be like, हाँ but देखो ना मुस्लिमों को देखो वो दूसरे वालों को देखो वो क्या करते हैं देखो उनको कभी criticize नहीं करते क्या तुम? What is this?
Will they say it for Islam?
No, and
they say Sanatan, they abuse the prophets of they abuse the gods of Hindus. But do they ever say anything about it? And we should not say about any other religion. But
Okay, I have to repeat my point here. Why do these people think they are arrogant enough to protect God? I will repeat. Why do these people like him, feel like they are arrogant enough to think that they can protect an all-knowing, all-powerful God, which they believe actually existed, by the way? That he just said it. It's not a mythological figure. It is history. And how dare you if you call them kalpanik or whatever. So why is this guy defending them? Is he better? Are gods like smaller than human beings that they need protection from people like him? I don't understand this logic. I still don't understand it. It's bizarre. And then of course the counter to anything is the unko bola na, unke religion pe kuch bola na. Why you not say anything about that other religion which I don't like? Why you know?
Incited abuse of Hindus cannot be termed as secularism.
But sir, my question
Abuse
is not
kahan
about
pe
Hindus
kiya be?
across the country. My question here is not that people who are abusing, I'm not justifying those who are abusing Hinduism. My question here is that the BJP is trying to sell an idea of Hinduism that is very particular to particular
Good,
region. in
double
India.
down.
For example, the whole concept of vegetarianism or the whole concept of...
Yes, double down.
I come from a community which is also Vivekanand's community. I'm Bengali. Vivekanand was the face of what modern
I
Hinduism looks
could
like.
tell he's
also
Bengali,
somebody
yes.
that our Prime Minister worships. So...
They have the same name.
Yeah, they do. Narendra. Yeah. So he consumed fish, meat, everything. And I thought it's very natural. It's a very liberal religion and they're removing that.
Let me address that. Who promoted vegetarianism most in their life? You know that? Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah.
So was Mahatma Gandhi imposing a point of view? No. Look, there is obviously nobody is against non-vegetarians or people eating non-veg food, but certain communities do want to have their own preferences. And if supposing somebody gets a preference for halal food, somebody should have the preference for vegetarian food. By the way, Kurukshetra.
But the difference is that you are imposing it. No, UP government is banning it during festivals. That's the whole point. Like, you can't do that. Like, it's not like a polite request that please don't have non-veg food. Literal banning. People are going around shutting down shops because they're Muslim owned or whatever. That is the whole thing. Like, the state machinery is being used to control food habits. That is the problem. That is the problem there.
Place where only vegetarian food is served. And that happened during the Congress government.
Hello, Shehzad. I'm Shreya. I'm the entertainment anchor here at India Today. Yes.
Wow, okay. Entertainment anchor is here as a student? No.
Have all the celebrities on your contact list.
Yes, and now you, hopefully. Yeah, so coming to my question today, being a political spokesperson, I think you mentioned a lot more names other than yours, like Prime Minister Modi, Nehru, Rahul Gandhi, to say a couple. But they weren't born in the era of social media, and neither were you, and neither was I.
Okay.
But now,
I don't...
But now, with social media, we have a 4-year-old kid in rural India, in a village, where there might not be food or a fridge, but there is access to internet, and there's access to everything that the internet brings along with it. You can have access to videos which are not age appropriate. You can have access to things which a 4-year-old is not supposed to see, let alone a 14-year-old. And that somehow subconsciously affects the psyche of a young Indian growing in 2025. We were very prompt when it came to banning TikTok on grounds of national security. Why are we not as prompt in regulating social media in 2025 when it is affecting the youth of the country?
Students are asking questions so BJP can give propaganda answer. These questions are asked by people to government so that this fits for BJP. Format is copied. I saw that the format is taken from Jubilee, and that's why I was interested in watching it in the first place, how this debate format actually works. But theek hai. I mean, the questions are good. As I'm saying, the questions are decent. The answers, a lot to desire, but theek hai. I think this is a better format than the current TV debate format, at least. I mean, the bar is so low. Even this looks refreshing to me.
There's a lot of hoopla about them filming a 33-second long kiss in a movie like Superman. But the same person can go onto Netflix, go onto social media, watch 50 Shades of Grey without any cuts. So is there not a big distance here?
So first of all, thank you for acknowledging that in the last 10 years, we've been able to spread the coverage of internet, make it more accessible. It's no longer a luxury, and therefore people can access internet, and by that logic also social media everywhere. So you've confirmed that. Now, point is that in every generation, whenever new technology came by, so for instance, in my generation, my parents were wary about me watching too much television and what I was consuming on TV. The generation today, people who are parents now will be concerned that how much time their child or their ward is spending on the mobile phone. It becomes about good parenting and good social system by your family and by your teachers, because you can't...
Can you leave a thing as important as just parenting?
I'm coming to that. You can't really... The parents... So supposing a child goes to school, And in school, his friend may get a mobile phone, even if that child doesn't carry it. Can you stop the child from watching something on the internet? And can you really police the internet? Can you really police social media? Can you really police or regulate beyond the point the internet? I don't think so. While there are some...
We can try. Australia is trying.
For instance, we do. We are also trying. We have also had the social media guidelines in place. So pedophile content or pedophilia, etc., that can't be available on social media or on internet. So that is a part of thing that we are trying. But there are also ways to bypass it. I think this is what will work. What will work is that what Prime Minister spoke about, digital detoxing. We need to ensure that even as we move ahead with technology, AI plays a bigger role in our lives, technology plays a bigger role in our lives, we need to disconnect from this digital world and also spend time with real friends, real people, face-to-face contacts. That's where...
How do you ensure that?
That's not a bad advice, to be honest. That's not a bad advice. And also, like, the other reason why they're giving this advice is because they tried to control the internet through regulation and failed. They tried the broadcasting bill, they tried like other things, but the internet is a different beast. I think Shehzad understands it more than his own policymakers right now, because he's right. Like, I mean, it's so difficult to control the internet. How do you age gate? How do you make sure that it's actually implemented? All the things. So, yeah, that's a decent answer.
Now, how do you...
For a 4-year-old to get addicted to porn is very easy. And this has societal repercussions, which we are not prepared for.
Addiction to porn or addiction to any substance or addiction to anything that's harmful to you is not a function of that technology. It's a function of parenting and the atmosphere and ambience around the child.
True.
Please understand. A child needs to have an atmosphere, whether it's the teachers, friends, school, or family life, in such a way that any kind of addiction... Today, let's
what the child does in his personal time can trickle down to what he does in society.
We are missing the wood for the trees. The problem is not the social media. The problem is the child's propensity to rely on an addiction because he's feeling insecure. If his needs are dealt with, he won't have a porn addiction or a substance addiction.
Interesting. I would like that to go on longer a bit. I think there was like pushback and he was actually giving decent answers for a change. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Chat, what do you think? See, Ansi also said she doesn't mind this advice. IT regulation, Modi kyun le aa raha hai? He's trying. See, that's what I said. Modi ji has been trying to regulate social media and the internet for a while now and failing at it because it is not that easy to do. And also because all the platforms that people are on are owned by foreign companies. You see, that's the whole thing. The reason why I think Modi ji banned TikTok is like because he didn't want another platform controlled by another country to do it. And also my other theory is that because Instagram wanted more people on Reels, so they had a thing with the government. I believe.
Hello, Mr. Poonawalla. Thank you for speaking with us.
I have a first name which you can address me with.
But I like calling you Mr. Poonawalla. My name is Girdhar. I'm a student at Marshall School of Business at USC.
Okay.
My question
And where are they getting all these kids from? Like Boston School mein se, fir... I don't know why they couldn't pick up any kids from Indian universities who are in India.
Recent statement made by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat about how politicians should retire by the age of 75 or leaders should retire by the age of 75, and Prime Minister Modi is nearing that age next year. And I wanted to ask you about what BJP's succession plan really is. There's new ministers in Madhya Pradesh like Mr. Mohan Yadav who are younger but not very well known, and this slogan that was there throughout the 2024 elections, if not Modi then who? That's not just relevant to the country, it's also relevant to intra-party politics and who is going to succeed Prime Minister Modi.
Look, first of all, in 2004, when Prime Minister Vajpayee lost the election, at that time, there were many concerns about his health. But had you heard of Chief Minister Modi becoming a face potentially of Prime Ministership at 2004? That situation evolved and developed in 2013, when then the party declared him as the official Prime Ministerial candidate. I think what happens is that we all have our parents in our family. Do we ever go and tell our father, you're going to retire or hand over the business to me? No. I think it takes its own time, and time and circumstances determine a lot of things. Now, the other part to your question is that should there be a retirement age in politics? I don't think Mohan Bhagwat ji was speaking about any political organization or politics as such. He made a generic statement.
At a Nagpur book launch, Bhagwat recalled RSS ideologue Morpant Pingle quip on turning 75. When you turn 75, it means you should stop now and make way for others. Yeah, that's what... See, again, RSS, when it gives comments, it never mentions names, no? It just does side comments and then leaves you to interpret it. So a lot of people interpreted it thinking that, oh, Mohan Bhagwat is talking about Modi ji and he should retire at 75. But then he's like, no, I wasn't. When did I say?
Statement about people having the energy and the ability to continue. I feel that age is just a number. Age, apart from age, there has to be energy, dedication, motivation. For instance, Rahul Gandhi is about 55. He's far younger than Prime Minister Modi. But if you don't have the ability or the energy, I think he should retire. And
but
is 82. So by that
think-
logic, he shouldn't be there.
Do you think someone that's a lot older can bridge that generational gap that a lot of leaders in India have? I don't relate to most leaders that are there in India. I see faces like you that are younger, but I also don't completely relate to you. Like you're from a completely different generation. Why are there no more Gen Z leaders or Gen Z politicians coming up? Why is BJP not doing it?
First of all, I completely agree. And I think that this has been one of the areas of our democracy, right from the 1950s to 2025. Our parliament's profile has not really matched the profile of the demography of the country.
Good.
So, do I advocate for more young people to come into politics? Absolutely. Do I advocate Gen Z and Gen Alpha coming? Of course, now see, you have to be above the age of 18 to contest an election. But I started at the age of 15 in student activism. So should you be aware and conscious about your country and the issues in your country? Absolutely. Should you have a voice on social media? Absolutely. Should you then try to build a base and contest on issues that matter to you? Absolutely. And should political parties make it easier? It's becoming that way. For instance, the BJP does allow the younger people to come in because we're not a family-oriented party. We're essentially a merit-based party. We say performance first, not parivar first. And therefore, somebody like me, only based on performance.
Lies. Again, lies. Oh my God, there are so many dynasties in BJP also. Anyway, I will let that go.
No parivar could enter and make his mark in the BJP. So I think more organizations that are not parivar oriented. That means that after Tejaswi's son, after Akhilesh's son, after Stalin's son, if the parties are more oriented to performance, then I think you and I get a better chance.
And you had said that no one thought Prime Minister Modi would be the Prime Minister candidate in 2013. A lot of people think that someone like Amit Shah would be succeeding Modi. Are you trying to say that he won't? That he's not next in line?
I think in the BJP, the culture that we are imbibed with is that we all behave and work like karyakartas. And the party promotes the best karyakarta for the right job. So whether it is giving somebody an opportunity to serve as Prime Minister or Chief Minister.
So who has been the best according to you?
I think that the entire machinery of the BJP promotes so many people. So we have a large number of young people from Yogi Adityanath to Amit Shah.
We have a large number of people from Yogi Adityanath to Amit Shah to succeed Modi ji. Nice, Shehzad. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks. But he didn't answer the 75 wala question, and of course he said ki why isn't Rahul Gandhi retiring? Anyway, theek hai. Didn't expect anything about better.
So my question to you is about cow vigilantism. In your Congress days, you were very, very aligned with, supporting the people who were victims of this horrible, horrible misdeed in society. And you issued PILs and you spoke out against cow vigilantism on a very large extent. I want to ask you, what changed when you joined the BJP? There are many ministers who have been ministers of states as well. Jayant Sinha garlanded the people who attacked the Muslims who were carrying meat, which isn't even proven to be cow meat.
Boy.
And the question I want to ask you is that I understand this kind of violence is sort of normalized in India, but this kind of violence isn't celebrated by ministers of states who should set out the highest example. It's not and it's not normalized by MLAs. It's not normalized by spokespeople. Mahesh Sharma stood with the people who were when they were released on bail. I want to ask you that as a government, why would you support the attackers rather than condemning them? What stance has the party taken to show us, the public, that, violence for cows is all right? Shouldn't the mechanism of the state...
Let me answer this. Yeah. When I was in the Congress and as I was in the BJP 5 years later after I left the Congress party, in both places, I advocated for a strong law against mob mentality and mob lynching. The issue could be cow vigilantism, it could be anything else, any mob lynching. By the way, the Congress party never passed a law to curb mob lynching, and right now in the BNS, we do have provisions after the Supreme Court also has come out with mob lynching as to be taken up as a separate crime. Now the government has passed a law where mob lynching is a specific designated offense.
And that's amazing.
Point number 2. Look, the problem with issue of I condemn anybody who supports anybody else taking rule of law into their own hands or breaking the law.
So or good answers.
I condemn them. Look, I condemn anybody who goes and lionizes or eulogizes anybody breaking the law. But
kyun khatam kar?
Yes. Jayant Sinha.
Yeah.
Do you know that Sajjan Kumar was convicted for the 1984 Sikh genocide?
I'm not defending the Congress here. I'm asking you as a unbiased citizen.
It's indefensible. Therefore, you're not defending it. But it was the Congress that supported Mr. Sajjan Kumar.
Oh my God, no, that's not the point. Why did you do but? There is no but there. Just end it there. Dude, Shehzad, what are you doing? It was a good answer. Just let it go there.
The Congress that continues to support Jagdish Tytler, the Congress that continues to stand by Rajiv Gandhi, who said, you know what, 1 second, 1984, there's no Sikh student here, Sikh person here.
Okay.
4,000 Sikhs lost their lives.
And I agree with you. 4,000
and the
people
Congress
lost their
said,
lives.
and the Congress said, "Bada
The
pet
Congress
ghirta hai,
said
dharti
whatever.
hilti hai."
Again-
bada pet ghirta hai, dharti hilti hai.
Yeah.
And therefore, when the Congress ecosystem attacks me, I tell them, show your own.
I am not the Congress ecosystem.
So you do agree
I'm
that the Congress has double standards? You agree
I
the
have
Congress has
nothing
double
to say about the Congress. I'm asking.
Again, he never said anything about the Congress. He's right. He's just asking him questions. Ki when you were in the Congress, you did this. Now you have gone to the BJP. Why has your stance changed? He was in the Congress. That's what he was saying. You were literally in the Congress. Now he's like, oh, are you defending the Congress? अच्छा है, ये भी अच्छा है.
You're a BJP spokesperson.
That's right.
My question
You
is,
took a position.
do you agree?
Okay, now
do
let
you
me come.
condemn? Do you condemn the people
I
who
answered
stood
that.
with the cow
I
murder?
answered that, Shubham. I answered that.
You answered
I
that?
answered that.
You condemn them? I have to put Shehzad
Is
Poonawalla
countering
to
it.
condemn.
No, you have to.
Good.
Yes, of course.
Just one line.
Yeah.
Like you took a position in the BJP and the government and you asked us to take a position, and I agree with that.
Yes.
Do you
You're
think
the ruling
one-
party? I have to
one
answer.
second.
Go ahead, please.
Do you think that Congress should come out and condemn Rajiv Gandhi?
I am no one to say anything about the Congress. If they were in the ruling party, if they were in the ruling party, I condemn anyone who's against mass killings too.
One second.
I condemn anyone who
One
is
second.
there for
I'm
mob
making a
justice.
generic statement. Sure.
I condemn the 1984,
I'm
whatever
not
the
letting
riots
you
happened, whatever.
I'm not asking you have to condemn the riots. Listen to what I'm saying. You took a position on me and my government.
Yes.
Do you take a
I
position?
take the same position with them, but I want you to justify your stance.
One second.
Yeah,
Do you take a position that the Congress shows double standards?
I'll leave
See,
it
that's
at
the
time.
problem. That's the problem with people like
Kyun?
you. That's the problem.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
What was that? What was that? And also, why wasn't the guy condemning like what Rajiv Gandhi said? I don't understand. Why is that student also digging in? Why would you want to do that? Like I don't think he's a Congress spokesperson. Like, I mean, he could have been like, yeah, the Congress did wrong. Why are you repeating that shit? Like, I mean, that's the whole point. Like, people elected the BJP because they didn't like the Congress. Surprise! When he was in the Congress. Then he switched to the BJP and then got re-elected. So, yeah, my brain cells are dying a little bit now, friends. Yes. I'm going to fast forward a little bit and see like if there is anything exciting that happens later. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to go through this entirely. And this is where the general one ends. And then इसके बाद जो भी रहेगा वो bonus रहेगा, members के लिए रहेगा. Okay, so you become subscribe and you become member and you will get some extra 15 minutes of me reacting to this nonsense also. If you can handle it. And then I'll chat with the members about this also. Yes, please. So we just saw like a little bit more of the debate / whatever this was. I have to say, not the worst format, not the best format. If India today actually turns this into a better format where, people are given a little more time to talk, where they're given a little more time to make their points, and it's not like quick, whatever. Because the second round of questions were actually much better. And I have to say that Shehzad Poonawalla, not a bad performance. I was expecting much worse. I got triggered at points. Of course, the whataboutery and the is worth getting triggered about. But some of the questions he gave in the answers he gave in the end are not bad. See, this is what I mean. Like, TV news should learn from the internets, which is Jubilee. And they should bring such formats to India and play them, because I would rather watch this than a random debate, because at least there are people who are asking solid questions. They are giving responses and then they're asking more questions. Maybe the format can be worked on a little bit. But hey, a welcome thing. I like to look at like silver linings in dark clouds. This might be one of them. Okay, looking forward to more episodes. Let's see who else they get. Okay, see you next time in Meghnerd Reacts. Bye.